Fred was actually working out with the B team himself, but he'd been watching me on YouTube for a long time. Once we started talking, he kind of recognized who I was, I guess, by my voice. He said he knew my face from somewhere, but he wasn't sure. But when I started talking, he said, I knew you from somewhere, and then he realized that. So I worked out with that team, worked out with the A team. They actually had a bunch of injuries, so we didn't even have a full team. It was only like 5 or 6 of us that day, so we did a ton of drills. And during those drills, their coach, whose name I don't recall, but he speaks, great English. He's fluent in English. He had us doing a bunch of drills, but the footwork is similar to the stuff we do in America. I'm talking about first steps, going without taking a dribble first, spin moves, jump shots. Basically a lot of shit that I be doing on YouTube. We ain't do nothing that I haven't done on YouTube before. And the interesting thing I was thinking the whole time was I hear from players sometimes commenting on YouTube like, oh, you can't do that in Europe, or they'll call walk. But obviously you can. So what I'm seeing is that the game, the FIBA game, is starting to relax their rules to be closer to the American game. Whereas I wasn't sure which way it was going to go. I knew eventually those two games would have to merge. I thought maybe the American game might change their style to be more like FIBA. But what's happened is the FIBA game, which is everybody outside the United States, they're kind of changing their game to be more like our game. They pushed their three-point line back a few years ago to be closer to the NBA's 23 feet 9 inches. The NBA's 23 feet 9 inches. FIBA, I forget what they pushed it back to. It's not that far yet, but it's further than it was. They changed the lane from the trapezoid to more like the rectangle like they got in the United States. And now they're relaxing kind of how they call the traveling rules and stuff like that, because it allows for more offense, basically. That's basically what it does. Moving the three-point line back spaces the floor, making that lane smaller. I don't even remember what making the lane smaller does, but it does something. And relaxing the rules with the traveling and stuff allows for the offensive player to be able to do more. There's more that freedom for the offensive player, which makes it harder to guard somebody, which basically is going to produce more points. They're not going to come out and say that, but that's basically what's going to happen. So anyway, I'm out there. I worked out with the team. That team, the Inter Bratislava, they already had their 2 imports for the season. They actually are the defending champions of the league in Slovakia. They got an American guy from New York. He had just signed there when I got there. When I got there and worked out with them, we actually both came into the country on the same day. So he just got there, and the other American was on the team last year. So it's not like they was looking for a new player or nothing. But I just worked out with them because they was around. There was a few other teams I was going to work out with. We ended up not working out before the camp started. So we get to the Euro Pro camp in Bratislava. Now I'm going to keep it real with the Euro Pro camp in Bratislava.